We are
No.
live. All right, let's go. Let us go. Let's see our people. Let's get some folks in the room, and then we will have Sylvia give her update. What a Monday morning at the YSL Rico trial, week 3. Already starting off on a rough foot. So everybody get in here. Hopefully you guys got the notifications. I'm told that if there's multiple notifications for lives, sometimes, hey, chat models and Sylvia, hey, Emmanuel, hey, Nona, uh, that people, there might not be notifications from YouTube. So everybody tell everybody to get in here. We got updates. Sylvia is here. And if our producer could take us, put us on screen. Hey, Nona. Hey, everybody. Hey, folks. Good morning. Good morning. We are on a screen. Hello. This is our second update today. As some of you already know, or you should know if you've been following. Hey, Mons, um, Nikenya. Hey, Nikenya. Thanks for joining Angie first thing on Monday morning. I wish it was sunny and a good morning. Hey, Sierra. It Felicia Fee, good morning. Hey, Sylvia's been out and about. Hit the like button, Emmanuel says, of course. Sylvia, already.
Yeah.
So Terry just joined, but wanted to update everybody real quick who don't know what's going on. We could just start with that and then talk about what you just learned.
This morning when I was on my way to court, I was in the parking lot, and the parking guard told me that basically that one of the defendants in the case had been stabbed, and he didn't know which one or anything like that. And when I entered into the courtroom, it's when I heard, people in the hallway buzzing, talking about it, and then I found out that it was Stillwell that was actually stabbed in the jail, um, and he was not in attendance today at court.
Hmm. So we were last talking and you were explaining that you're not sure, they didn't know at that time what was the nature of his injuries in terms of he was stabbed in the abdomen, but we didn't know how serious it was. He isn't stable now, but you had a chance to speak to
His
uh,
wife, his
his
wife,
wife. So
yeah.
what's that?
Well, she said she was on the phone with him like late last night, and they had gotten off the phone, and then the next minute she started getting all these calls, and that he had just been stabbed, and she rushed over to Wright Street jail. And by the time he got there, they was like, they knew that, okay, they said, "Are you his wife?" And she said, "Yeah." And they pulled her to the side, and that's when they explained to her, the lieutenant came out and explained to her what was happening. And while she was standing there talking, he was going into the ambulance to go to Grady, and he has had surgery, and he was stabbed in the abdomen. And so here's the thing, that's the problem. He's supposed to be in protective um, uh,
Custody.
custody. Yeah, thank you.
Hmm.
Protective custody, and he was not. One of the officers moved him, and lieutenant is trying to find out who moved him, and there is going to be an investigation done in regard to this.
So he last night, and around what time did this happen? She said she was on the phone with him, but what time did she say?
He arrived at the jail at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so she arrived at 1, so it happened a little bit before she arrived, somewhere between 12 and 1 a.m.
Yeah,
this morning.
yeah.
And she was on the phone with him. He was in good spirits. Did she say he indicated he was in trouble or that he was in the wrong place?
No, she doesn't have any detail of exactly what happened, but one of the things that she did say is that the lieutenant was pretty upset because he is supposed to be in protective custody. And
Mhm.
this is like the second time that he was removed from protective custody.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know exactly. I didn't want to go to prying too much because it is a sensitive situation. She's very
Right.
saddened by it, and I didn't want to kind of
Upset her. Yeah.
so and she's very, very upset, and his grandmother is upset as well, and she's an elderly lady, and this is a lot for them right now.
Mm-mm. So when she was on the phone with him, she said he didn't give any indicators that he was in the wrong spot. Like he didn't say, why don't they have me? So he just was just a normal conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I can't tell you something I didn't
You
ask.
didn't ask her. Okay.
I was
Okay.
more concerned about what
His condition.
his condition, was he
Hmm.
stable and things like that. So, and I know that they had asked the judge for a court order so the attorneys could be able to go see him in the hospital.
And you said he's right now in Grady. Is that
He didn't have
what is
surgery. You were right. He did have surgery.
okay?
It wasn't superficial. It was something enough for him to have surgery. So he had a 2-hour surgery.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, we were talking earlier, folks, about the fact that, how long would the trial be postponed because of this? Judge Glanville this morning talked about coming back tomorrow at 9 o'clock and deciding what they were going to do from there. But unless they sever him from this trial with an injury like this, we were looking it up. It could take 4 to 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks for him to be in a condition where he can come and sit all day and stand trials, which is going to severely postpone this trial if he's not severed.
Mm-hmm. But the likelihood of him being severed, I doubt it because I think it's too far gone inside the trial. And
Mm-hmm.
remember, today was supposed to be one of the witnesses that took a plea.
Uh, uh-huh. And which witness was that? Do you have that name?
I don't have that information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you say that to say what?
I'm saying,
I'm just wondering, let's put it all together
I
for
mean,
us.
I really don't. I don't know. You remember, I don't like to speculate. I
No
don't like.
speculating.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't do the speculation. That's for
Right.
other channels to do that. I give what the facts is of what I know. And if I don't
Mm-hmm.
know anything, I'll tell you guys I don't know. I'll find out. So
Right. So there was supposed to be one of the witnesses that took a plea was supposed to testify this morning. Wondering, not speculating, but wondering if that might have had something to do with what took place. But again, it could have been something as simple as, some they beef at the dining hall earlier that day. It could have been just anything. So we don't want to speculate, but certainly one of the possibilities could have been pertaining to this case, and we don't know what that would be. But certainly, Sylvia, you'll keep us abreast of any information you have. So if he does not get severed, basically we're talking about, we were going to be December 16th anyway. December 15th, this Friday, was going to be the last Friday before the break.
but
And
well,
we,
here's my prediction. This is my
Mhm.
prediction. The judge has not said this and anything like that. My prediction is probably tomorrow. We probably won't. We'll have court, and he's going to say, "Hey, we won't come back until after the holidays."
Yeah,
That's my prediction.
that
And
makes the
I might
most
be
sense.
wrong. I might be wrong, but if they're not going to sever him, it's best to just give them time for him to heal. And like you have 1 week here, 2, 3. Oh, that would be about almost 4 weeks, right?
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense because we're going right into the holidays. So we weren't going to be coming back until January 2nd anyway. We
Mm-hmm.
get this week, which gives us an additional week, which is almost 4 weeks for him to recover. And hopefully that will not take the trial off too far. Let's get some of the comments that people have and some of the questions. Sierra, that's terrible. That jail should be shut down. I actually have there's a state and federal probe on this jail. It's notorious for being severely overcrowded. It's so dilapidated that inmates are able to fashion makeshift weapons by reaching into the walls, removing broken flooring, electrical coverings, and broken pipes, according to the Fulton County's Sheriff's Office. So this jail is overcrowded. It's supposed to hold 1,000, a little bit over 1,000 prisoners, but it tops 3,000 occasionally. So, and this building is very, very old. It was built in 1989.
Mhm.
And you were saying, Sylvia, that it's been notorious for violent incidents, poor inmate treatment. What are some of the things you've heard about this jail?
There was an individual who had some mental issues, and they had him down like in the basement area, and they had never gone down to see him, and he ended up dying with a bunch of like bugs, and then his head was inside the toilet bowl, and a whole bunch of feces and all this kind of stuff that was going on. When they went to see it, it was just disgusting. Well, the
Oh,
family sued, and they won the lawsuit on him. And then another young man was stabbed. A couple of them was stabbed. I say a total about, I say 5 or 6 individuals were stabbed.
wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely it's under state and federal investigation that it's basically endangering people's lives. I mean, it's really terrible that this Stillwell's been there for the last 16 months, you said, since the proceedings have started. But the state and federal are investigating it. Of course, officials are saying that it's the lack of resources, etc. But they've been accusations that money that was supposed to be allocated to improve inmate welfare has been mishandled, and that basically the conditions and the funding and everything is out of order. So unsanitary conditions, flooding inside the jail, and that it's America's, it's really being called America's most notorious jail. Um, so that's a little bit on that particular. Let's get some more comments from folks. Will they need to start trial over? Janelle, we were just saying that no, we won't have to start all over. It's too late, right? You don't do that at this point.
It's not good. I think they're just going to postpone it a little bit because it is the holidays, and the likelihood of them. I believe they're gonna. This is my opinion now. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but my opinion, the thing would be for them to postpone it because they're not going to sever him.
Yeah. Bree says too many things, sketchy things happening with this case. I mean, of course, you're talking about, this thing is just for Judge Glanville to be able to keep this thing on the rails is a difficult feat. Even with the week's rest, I still think he might need more than 2 weeks. Of course. Well, we were going to be off from the 16th anyway, from the 15th. So that would have given us a little over 2.5 weeks. And then with this extra week, like Sylvia was saying, that's almost 3 weeks. That's, typically somebody that's had abdomen surgery, you're needing 6 to 8 weeks, for recovery. So this will slow things down a bit unless he's severed. And you're saying you don't think he would be severed at this point. It's too
I
late.
don't think so because remember, Stillwell was one of the main because they claimed that he was the right hand to Mr. Williams. So if they sever him, that's going to be kind of like weaken the state's case. So I don't think the state is willing to sever him unless I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, that would absolutely weaken, and you know that the judge and the state are working, of course, together to try to prosecute this case, try to bring this whole thing and push it forward. We know that the judge has been very resistant to requests for mistrials. There's been a lot of investment in this case in terms of state resources, witnesses that have been, witnesses that have been interviewed and jury that's been interviewed. So it's been a whole lot to get this thing moving. They are going to try everything they can to cure anything before they would even look to, uh, yeah, they get rid of this case. Yeah, the city council is discussing building a new facility. They're trying to remove the sheriff. Yeah, this facility is dilapidated and is hazardous. And apparently, the inmate welfare fund, which was made for the purposes of the inmates there and was provided to the jail, was spent on gift cards and unrelated charges. So there's definitely some mismanagement. The warden of this jail and the fund has been mismanaging, according to reports, the resources that have been put in place. A little while ago, LaShawn Thompson died due to severe neglect. I think this might have been who you were talking about. Despite the fact that the sheriff's office had millions of dollars dedicated to this this initiative. Yeah, the jail situation in this country is really, really, I mean, it's just awful where this is happening. But I'm wondering about this idea that he was supposed to testify today, and that
Not
a
him.
lieutenant or somebody, sorry,
Not him.
not someone,
No.
someone pertain to testifying against him today, correct?
I'm not too sure, but it is a witness of one of the individuals who have taken a plea. So I don't know who it is, but
Before.
yeah, it was
But it's
one of.
just really interesting that this is, you said, the second time he's been placed in the wrong place. These people know where he's supposed to be. It's very difficult for me to reason in my brain that that was an accident. Like, why was he put there? And then the lieutenant's upset, and you were saying that his wife was saying that they were upset. How upset could they be? It just, I don't know. It just seems very fishy to me. What are some more comments? Let's look at some more of the comments. Yeah, he'll need physical therapy, abs, and everything. Exactly. He's going to need a lot of support. So I don't know. The producer wants us to distinguish between jail and prison, right? That prison is a long term, and jail is short term. So he was in this short term holding facility while this trial was taking place. All right. The jail sounds like Rikers Island, New York. Yes, Classy Coco. This is Rikers Island in our area, is an also notorious jail. It actually has been shut down or is in the process of being shut down. All the inmates have been moved or they're being moved. It is being closed. So, yeah.
Wow, Rikers Island's being closed?
Yeah, Rikers Island, the notorious Rikers Island. Given the popularity of this case, why did they not put him in solitary like they did Doug? Wasn't that where he was, you said?
He's supposed to be in protective custody. Why he's not in there, I can't answer. I don't know. And that is where the investigation is going to go into. And most likely, probably a lawsuit. I mean.
Mm-hmm. Georgia never cared about prisons. They just want the money to house them. They need to release more prisoners with less criminal records and records. They need to evaluate all jails. Listen, our country builds prisons because prisons are on the stock exchange. People don't realize that prison is a corporate. Prisons we've divested, our local counties and our state governments have divested from managing and running prisons, and instead have outsourced prison management and jail and building of prisons to private entities. These entities are on the stock exchange. Their job is to get more prisoners. So when you look at legislation, you wonder why legislation is being moved towards more policing and funding is being made towards more policing, and laws are being made that will put more people in jail. Well, this is the reason, because corporations are on the stock exchange and people are invested in those things. I was told, I don't know the exact words, but it was something like by the time a child is in third grade, they've already run the numbers on whether or not that child will be in prison. So they're listen, it's a business. They're not interested in reform. They're not interested in making people whole again or restoring them back. They're interested in the money they get from the state and the governments to house bodies. That's what they're there for. And they don't want to spend a lot of money on it. I mean, the cheaper they can do it, the more profit they can make. That's what this is all about. That's why you have to vote. I wonder why they didn't have him in Cobb. Is it too far? I don't know. Is that far?
Remember, Cobb is the same way where Mr. Williams is, Jeffrey Williams, and they probably don't want them near each other.
Okay. Prison is it's $1 billion industry. There is absolutely a school to prison pipeline. Fourth reason for a mistrial, Tall Glass. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about those reasons for a mistrial. Let's go back over them again. She said violation of the defendant's rights. I would think that that's the violation of his rights, being in where he's not supposed to be and being in danger.
Is that the video clip?
No, that's not the video clip. I'm just referring to some of the things she said.
But see, the other thing too, if they're supposed, that means people are not doing their job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, but if you it's 3,000 people in the daggone prison that's only supposed to have 1,100. They probably are not doing their job. Nobody's getting to do their job because they don't have the resources. They're not spending. Here, they said the Board of Commissioners said that there are a lot of large expenditures that were not justified that they're spending on in this prison. So, inmate welfare fund is being funded, but of course, there's stuff going on with mismanagement of the money. They said the Board of Commissioners approved $5.3 million to improve jail conditions in April of 2022, following the death of another young man who died in custody there. So 10 people in Fulton County jails custody have died so far this year. And that's, 10 people have died already this year in that jail. This is not a good thing. So let's take some more comments. I was wondering if you know of any petitions to demand to investigate the prosecution and all jail staff. Do you know of any petitions or anything like that so far?
I'm not too sure.
This is still super early, folks, but you guys are asking the right questions. There's definitely supposed to be an investigation if something like this happens. And we need to be keeping our eyes on it. A lot of this happens because of public pressure. So when you are demanding things, when the public is keeping the eye on things, when people in that county are speaking up about this, that's when you're going to see things happen. So it's very, very important that you guys are watching and that you're asking these questions. And if you live in this area, in this community, you're asking the questions of your city council representatives, your mayor, your state representatives as well. More comments? All right, the Attorney General needs to step in. I would think so. Absolutely. Keep going. Fulton County Sheriff is funneling money to his wife's companies. Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, they in fact they're getting a divorce. She filed for divorce. I have the divorce papers too.
Oh, so maybe yeah. There's definitely something going on.
This is his second time getting stabbed. He got stabbed last year too.
In the same place?
Stillwell, yes.
Wow. This is the name. Let's see. Yeah, they were just talking about jails are short-term facilities. It means okay. All right, let's take some more comments. They're all in cahoots. Do they know who stabbed him? I would think they know who stabbed him, right? No? Do we know that yet, Sylvia? Who stabbed him?
The jail do.
The jail knows who stabbed him.
Yeah, but we don't. They haven't released that information yet. They're doing an investigation, and most likely, y'all, there's going to be a charge on that person that actually stabbed him.
Mm-hmm. And this
is the second time he's been stabbed.
Lord. And they're basically taking the dilapidated piping and all that other stuff, and they're fashioning, weapons out of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. We'll take some more comments and questions. Keep going. What happened after he was stabbed the last time? Classy Coco says.
Nothing. Other than the person was charged with it, and they're going to go have court and go to court trial and all that stuff. As far as anything, nothing, because he's still in the same jail. He's in protective custody, and I guess that didn't work either.
You would think that at this point, since the state has invested so much money in this trial, that they would be invested in protecting these folks so that they can have a trial. At the end of the day, like, you guys are so busy, you don't want a mistrial. You're going to look to do everything to cure any incidents, so that there's no mistrial, so that this is not thrown out. Well, how about you making sure that the defendants are not killed in prison, injured, etc., because that totally disrupts the case. At the end of the day, if you need to move him someplace else where he can be protected. But this is essentially this is their fault. He has no control over the conditions that he's in, and it's their job to protect him and therefore protect the interest of the investment that the state and all of the constituents of Fulton County have paid for. Y'all pay for this, and they're mismanaging your money by not making sure that this trial can continue because they're not protecting the defendants. There needs to be a lawsuit for every family in that jail. I'm sure they all have a case, Sierra says. Yeah, 100%. Overcrowding, underfunding equal. Did you say you had something for me, producer? I'm sorry. I think
there's something that was mentioned to me, and I want to get permission.
Go ahead.
Whether or not I can mention it to you guys. So just bear with me. I'm just clarifying it because I don't like putting out stuff that,
Okay, got it. Let's while she's doing that, we're going to go over the question of the week from last week. Is the same question I think we're going to continue to have, which is, will this end in a mistrial? I think that was the question. We're going to throw up a couple of responses to you. Go ahead. Uh, 65% of the people said yes. People do not believe in this case, that this case is going to be fulfilled. It's interesting. I was listening to, I was on the internet. I saw a post. I don't know who this gentleman was, but there was another judge speaking to another defendant related to YSL. And he came into the courtroom and he was apparently on drugs. He was high on drugs. And the judge was admonishing him to get himself together. And she said, I'm not Judge Glanville, so and so and so. I'm gonna, you're gonna be in trouble if you're acting like this with me. It seems like Judge Glanville's his reputation is suffering with this whole thing too. Because it seems like he is this trial is really off the rails. Shannon and Keith Copeland, who are they? Okay, I don't know who that is.
Copeland is the other co-defendant because he's the one that was charged with the murder as well with Shannon of I think the guy named is Donovan.
Oh, you mean Shannon Stillwell and Kenneth Copeland are allegedly behind Donovan Thomas's murder.
Yeah.
And Kenneth was given a plea to testify against him. I think that's who you were saying might have been scheduled to testify today.
I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. But all I know is someone that was part of the plea deal. So I don't know who it was.
And this is Sierra. You make a really good point. Thug asked for bond 3 or 4 times, right, Sylvia? And they said, Sierra saying that's why they should have given him bond. If you can't, you've got this national high profile case. It's a RICO case. It's, a lot of millions of dollars are going into bringing this case. It's national. It's involving, violence or people who've been accused of violence. That there's accusations of gang affiliation here. These people should have been given bond, at least so that they can be protected properly under circumstances where they would have secured them at their home and they would have had ankle bracelets and all that other stuff, but at least they could be protected at their homes. If the guards are not able to protect them at the prison, they should give them bond. Yeah, if these guards are anything like the police who testified, it's going to be a bigger issue. Yeah. It's just like, how do you, what do they say? The wolf guarding the hen house. Is that what they call it?
The wolf guarding the hen house? Oh, those hens are gonna be chopped up by the wolf.
Right. But that's kind of what Sierra, I think that was talk last, was just saying, like, you've got these all the witnesses from last week were police. They're already against them, right? And then you've got another law enforcement supposed to protect them in jail. How do you guard who you are essentially looking to condemn? I don't know. He must have been in population protected custody around other who were also in protective custody. No, according to Sylvia, Rudy, he was not in protective custody.
He was taken out. This is per his spouse.
Mm-hmm.
It's not coming from me, y'all. Is
it a fox?
What a fax?
A fox. Oh wait, it's not. A wolf. It's a fox, not a wolf. A fox and a wolf. Both of them gonna eat the daggone hens.
Linda said,
you got it, Linda. It's a fox guarding the hen house. Nope. I think defense is not going to put on anything. They will ask for a direct verdict due to lack of evidence. Ooh.
Okay, I think I'm ready to share what I have for you.
Go ahead.
Hold on. What I have to share is. Now, I think I need to text it to you and you share it.
Oh my. All right. Hey, we're not going to say nothing that's going to get nobody in trouble, but Sylvia thinks that I might be able to articulate it in a different way. Let's see. Is that a little music we got in the background while we wait?
Uh-huh.
Our producer is on. All right. I'll wait for you to send me the text. We're going to need some harder beats than that. Listen,
I like that.
That sounds like elevator music. Send your comments and questions in while we're waiting and we'll talk. Oh. Okay. Was that today? Okay, so is that the reason, not the stabbing? Maybe. Okay. Oh. All right. Well, apparently,
I don't know if that's.
No, it's two different things. I'm just maybe. I hope it's two different things.
Linda. Hopefully, it's two different things.
Hopefully, this is not related. But apparently, we know that the state prosecution has been having a tough time with this whole thing from the beginning, right? They have been fumbling along from the beginning of the trial, week one. Wrong information. Not giving the list of who the witnesses, just pretty much unprepared. And it seems like today they were also not ready. They've got some witnesses who they were planning on bringing who did not want to witness. They were not ready. They did not want to come and witness. This is what, we're hearing, and the state was asking for a delay. So does that have anything to do with why he might have gone? I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, we are not putting out fake news out here.
We're not putting out no fake news. I'm just trying to figure out, well, isn't that coincidental, I guess, that they weren't ready anyway. And
do you remember on Friday when they asked for that list and they were supposed to give them the list? And remember, it's supposed to be taking the 400 and 300 was supposed to be taken off. They wanted the 300 that's being taken off, and it's still like just dragging their feet.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that's happening that's just not. I don't think they were ready from the beginning. I kept saying that from the beginning. I kept saying they were not really ready for this trial. And that's why they just recently did a jury selection for another big case, y'all. They did it within a week.
Wow.
They did you bring everybody in, they have a question who's been If whoever raised their hand, they let them go. That's the way they did. And at the end, they picked out the people who they felt that was, going to be in the jury, and they asked voir dire questions to get them out. They did that in 1 week.
So you're saying that they've been basically rushing this whole thing.
They've been dragging their feet. with the jury selection so they can buy some time. Because remember last year when that lady was there, they asked the judge for some time, but the judge denied it because they had asked for a speedy trial.
Right.
So he denied it. But in the denial, the trial started in January the 4th originally, right? The jury selection lasts 10 months, y'all. 10 months. That is unheard of. And they kept bringing more juries in, bringing more juries. And guess what? How many juries did they select? 18. You could have got 18 long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
6 alternative and 12 regular jurors. So they were buying time because you had the first set of prosecutors who was originally on the case. They both gone. The guy and the lady. Then you bring in Miss Love and Miss Hilton. They had to pick everything up from the beginning, and they still needed time. Even now, you have witnesses who are not cooperating with them. So they're struggling. They have to flip this person, switch this person. And at the last minute, they're still doing lists of witnesses that's still just not fitting in with what they want. So it's crazy. Crazy.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying that who is trying to slow down the trial?
I believe the state. I believe the state is, and then it's no shade being thrown or anything like that. But it to me, and this is my personal feeling about it, right? To me, it looks like a real sloppy job. They were rushed. They were rushed to convict, rushed to try to get things going, and they didn't have all the pieces in the puzzle. So they used old cases, people that was in jail already, people who's been convicted for various crimes, and they try to connect it because of the neighborhood. They try to put everybody into one umbrella. Yes, right. I'm not saying that we're not crimes committed. Yes, but as a RICO, half of these things, like when I spoke with individuals, I personally took the time out to speaking with different individuals about this. One of the lenders, the guy that was on the case before, I talked to his wife or fiance. She told me that Mender never met Young Thug, don't even know the man. She didn't understand why her husband, fiance was on this case when they don't know each other. Little Rod's father was on my channel talking about Thug didn't know a Little Rod and things like that. So the connection was Cleveland Avenue, right. And then you have individuals who have done crimes. Now it's not like they didn't do the crime. Some of them did the crime. They are in jail. They took them out to put them on part of this case, and now all of a sudden you have this big RICO. Because
my question is, what? So that means if they rush this thing through, they package this up, rush it through. Why? Who does this benefit? Is there an election coming up? When's the next election for?
Next year.
So November.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2024.
So that means that Fani Willis will be up for election again in November of 2024.
So mostly political prisoners, huh?
Yeah. So there, at the end of the day, prosecutors and district attorneys, I understand in Georgia are elected, right? Which means that every time you go for election, you got to have some big stuff to say that you did. You gotta, it's a very public relations job where in order for you to get elected, people need to know your name. You got to have a record of doing great things. I'm wondering how much of a, motivation is that to make sure that this happens before the election, to drive the election. Yeah. It's supposed to be 4 or 5 months. Listen, she wants another term, Dr. TTH says. Yes. Yes. Let us not be ignorant to believe that it would not be in their motivation to do so. That's the way it works. Like, it's no shade. It's nothing. If you're running for office, you got to make sure people know your name. You got to show them some wins. And that's what this is about. It's about the fact that this trial is happening concurrently in an election year. You're talking about January, February, March, April. It's supposed to be April, about 4 or 5 months. May, right into the election year, November.
Yeah. I mean, I understand her ambition of trying to get the crime settled and things like that, but I think they should have had a better plan. The RICO part, and I think they chose RICO because RICO, you could put everything into the mix, everything you could put into the mix, and that's like a smorgasbord of crimes, and you just put it in and say it's a RICO. But then you have to prove different elements of it being a RICO,
Yeah.
And I don't know.
This is disappointing for, everyone. If they, if this doesn't work out for them, this is a bad move. If you're playing and thinking that this is going to be your big win, this is not. If you don't win this case, this is a bad luck. It's already a bad luck because of just the mess that's just happening around it. And then you got defendants being stabbed. They need to get everybody in one room, meaning all their people from the state, and get a whole listen. Y'all need to get it together.
And every single one of these inmates in Rice Street has some sort of stuff that has gone on since, not every single, but a majority of them. They have cases and cases inside the jail since this whole RICO started. Like what's the name? Lil Rod. He has a case right now that he's fighting inside the jail since he's been in there. They saying that they made makeshift shanks to stab somebody, and there's been several fights and all this kind of craziness that's going on in the jail, and nobody is like doing anything about it. It's weird to me. It's really weird.
Yeah, they're definitely not aligned. I would think that the prosecution would say, keep our people protected. This is a high profile case. This case is important for the district attorney. It's important for the state. It's important for her re-election prospects. Make sure that this case is protected at all costs. And obviously the Rice Street Jail did not get the memo because of all of the shenanigans happening in there. The system is able to charge a quitting club as a gang. A what?
Like a knitting club?
A knitting club. Did you mean a knitting club?
She
said a quitting club.
She said quitting club.
As a gang, if it's a group of people of color. Oh, quilting. You meant to say quilting.
But listen.
Yeah, listen. Wait. I wanted to comment. You absolutely right. Listen, I done told y'all, if you out there in Atlanta, in Georgia, and you're a person of color, you better not wear no colors. Besides, don't wear no red.
I wear my black all the time.
That's right. Don't stop at no gas stations. And I don't even know. Don't talk outside the gas station. Don't go to no parks. Y'all, it's like a prison out there. Just being a regular person, because they will whip you right into a RICO before you can say your name. Poor little Rod. He's 5'4". Wow.
He's so little. He's such a little boy. He's a little boy in there. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. Remember in the beginning when the trial first started, you heard all this craziness, drugs being passed to another inmate, Jeffrey. Then you hear somebody sewing stuff inside the underwear.
I remember that.
All of that stuff was happening during the trial. You know why? To muddy the waters. And who's behind it? I don't know. But the waters were being muddied. Because there's no way in the world that you can have inmates coming in contact with each other in the courtroom. Come on now.
Well, the way this courtroom's been operating, I don't know. No disrespect to Judge Glanville. I'm sure he's got his chops, and he's, y'all
can't blame the judge, y'all. Y'all cannot blame the judge for the action that's going on in the court. And I know it's his court, but still, y'all. He
not taking anything from Stillwell, but if it was Jeffrey, still would have demanded a mistrial today. So who's Stillwell's attorney?
Max Shaw and Mr. Botts.
I'm just saying, like, I don't, we were talking with Afi the other day about a mistrial. I don't see how this does not, it's just too much. This guy's one of the key defendants, and he's been stabbed in prison. I don't know. I just don't know what else.
I did get the okay to say what I text you.
Okay.
They said, yeah, I can say it.
Okay. So
I don't want to do anything without. Well, we can say it now.
Okay. Well, we will say it clearly. Go ahead. You want to say it and reiterate? Okay.
I'm going to reiterate it now. Okay. The individual that they were going to call was one of the individuals that took a plea deal. That individual does not want to testify. A couple of the individuals do not want to testify. So the state is having a hard time with those individuals testifying.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they wasn't ready today.
It wasn't ready. No.
Judge Glanville would have been sitting in there looking at them like, where's your witnesses anyway?
Exactly. So they don't even know what's going on with the witnesses. I don't know. I don't know if they showed up. I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know.
And what do they call it? They call it a hostile witness if you force a witness.
Yeah, they're going to become hostile.
Micah says she blames the judge. He's biased.
I know, Micah, but listen, she said, sorry, Sylvia, but listen, but you got to also remember, put yourself in the judge's place. That's why I was telling people, walk in somebody's shoe, then you'll know exactly how it feels. He's coming from a prosecution side. He is an ex-prosecutor. Majority of judges are ex-prosecutors, y'all. Whether or not we like it or not, they are ex-prosecutors. And then who pays them the paycheck? The government, the entity that they work for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for it to be fair, that's why you take a jury of your peers, so you won't have almost the fairest way of getting your story, your trial done right.
Mm-hmm. So, and listen, if we are seeing that the judge appears to be more preferential towards the state, these jurors, I'm sure, are seeing it. This is a jury of their peers. We talked about it. What's the makeup of the jury again, Sylvia?
It's 10 Black female. Majority of it's Black people. Okay, you got 10 Black female. You have one Black female is gone, so it's 9 now. You have 2 white women. You have 2 white guys. You have, I think, 3 Black guys. Let me see. Might be 3 Black guys, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. So they are seeing the same thing you're seeing, and they can see that if there is preferential treatment, that that there's a bias, they will be able to see it, and that's what we're going to count on, because the judge does not give the decision; he just gives the sentence. The jury gives the decision. So I'm sure they're seeing this whole mess. I'm sure they're seeing, the preferential treatment or whatever we want to call that, because it's funny. We were talking about, she made a statement on Hilton the other day that because she's worked with him, because she's been on trials before with him. They know each other. So I think she said something to the effect of, my work or something like that. So there is definitely a relationship there, but we would hope that the jury would see that and measure that in their statements, in their decision making. The jury would have seen, they would know about this as well. This is not something from the media that they would be closed off from, right? Sylvia, they would know that he got stabbed, right? They would be told that, correct?
They found out, I think last night or early this morning, they found out.
Yeah, so this is not something that they would have been...
No, there's 2 separate things, y'all. 2 separate things. It has nothing to do with the other one. So but it's just that they're having trouble with the witness list. Witnesses showing up. Witnesses doing right on the stand, and they're having problems, y'all. They just having problems.
Wow. Well, that's what happens when your situation's flimsy. I don't know. All right, Micah says she wants to see some shoes, since we can lighten it up a little bit.
Micah, they got shoes.
Wait, and Sylvia, listen, we're not taking this lightly at all. I know that we've talked about this. We can continue to talk about this because this is definitely serious. We're going to continue to have as many conversations about this as we can every day over the next few days. As we update you on what's happening. We'll definitely be back tomorrow. And it's, it sucks because we just got the live stream going for the court. So we have been ready. I don't know if you guys jumped on the live stream this morning. If on Friday we had the live stream. So now, whenever this trial starts again, whenever that happens tomorrow, it will be on at 9. It may be short depending upon what the judge says, but they will be back at 9 to tell us what they're going to be doing. And we will have that live streamed on Infamous Sylvia YouTube, as well as on so.com's YouTube. So definitely keep it locked, because we're going to give you all the inside information. Sylvia, you just sent over Mariah's shoe for today.
Yes,
Let's
I
take
did.
a quick moment and take a look at Mariah's shoe to give us, hopefully it's something that's going to give us some inspiration and elevation and Monday Monday love. And I saw Thug this morning. He had on a beige suit, I think, with a dark shirt, right? Like a dark turtleneck.
Yeah.
Okay. So he came in and prepared. Everyone else was prepared. Everyone else came in prepared, right? I mean, it just was, it looked like a typical day, except it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we don't know how this is going
The
to.
question is, who let him out that spot? Why wasn't he in his spot? That's
Right.
the question.
That's absolutely the question. Like, that's just random. Like, he's been there for 16 months. Why is he in a new position, new place? That's not somebody accidentally. He's not a toy that you just pick up and put down. He's a human being that has a place. He has a cell where his belongings are, that he set up his sleeping quarters, his living quarters. So it was not a random decision to move him. Other people, there had to have been a chain of command to decide to move him. And so that just is just, it can't be somebody accidentally moved him. And I know that Shannon's wife said she was upset. She's got, that the lieutenant was upset because he was moved. I call bullshit.
Y'all.
I'm just saying, right? You don't come with the fake, oh my God, I'm so upset that he was moved. Like, come on. How could you not know that he was moved? They don't, those type of decisions don't happen. You don't just move people without, I don't. All right, well, let's look at some flex. We're going to look at Mariah. Oh, Mariah. Oh my God, that's the same. So they were looking at twin again today, because she got the beige pants and a black shirt. And Doug had on a black or dark shirt with the beige as well.
Did you see? Oh, did I send you the shirt? Hold on, let me send you.
Mm-hmm. Those are some heels. Lord Jesus, those are high. But she's got the wedge. She's got the wedge. So hopefully that helps her with the balance. Jesus, those are high. That's some ankle breaking. Who would wear?
She said some ankle breaking, y'all.
Bro, you wearing that and you twist your, man. You walk on a crack in the street out here in these New York City streets, man, you all broke down. That front wedge helps a lot, yeah. So with the front wedge, what is that? Maybe about 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches. Put that picture back up. I think with the front wedge, you kind of, let's see. Yeah, I think with the front wedge is like 3 inches. That's not so bad. Oh, thank you for the graphics. I don't know if that looked like Mariah though. So she was back today. I wear shoes like that. The platform helps. But Tressie, my question is, what happens when you twist? Because sometimes if you don't get stable, if you take a step and your foot twists down, that could really injure your ankle. Like I've worn those too, but man, oh man, what we do for fashion, what we do to look good, the platform definitely does help though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's show us some pictures from last week, since we're just doing that real quick. And listen, we don't want to keep y'all long. We've been on for almost an hour. We're going to hope to get some more updates. Sylvia is going to continue to get information throughout the day. Okay, it helps you stay stable. But if you step on a crack, there ain't no stable nothing. That ankle's jacked. How about that? You all up in there. Okay, that's our favorite attorney, the lady's choice with the white beard.
That's my buddy. That's my buddy.
The gentleman, charismatic. Okay. These are from last week. This is not today. This is okay. This Steel and Thug. Okay, just some shots from the. There's his son. Yeah, he's a good-looking guy too. He definitely does look like his dad. Yeah.
Oh, we don't know who that guy is. He's an intern.
Oh, because I'm looking. I'm like, oh.
No, that's an intern.
Okay. Okay. Do we have pictures of Shannon from last? There we go. This is him from last week on Friday, I think. Okay. All right, folks. What else y'all want to talk about real quick before we sign off? We're going to come back again. Any information that's worth telling, we will absolutely be telling it and updating you as we go. Prayerfully, we're going to just continue to pray for Shannon's recovery. It's tough, man. The dad looks better than the son. Yeah. That white beard, that white on black, man. That white on black look good. Absolutely. Even like your hair, Sylvia, like I like the white. Like a lot of people, they do the blonde, but the white.
But you see, I got my hair cut. I had to get a haircut because you know me, I don't like the hair.
You do it yourself?
No, I go to the barber. Shout out to my barber, John, but I go to the barber because
you could probably do that yourself, no? Is that no?
You want me to cut my hair? I'll be at bald spot everywhere.
Okay. But yeah, he definitely looks good. Let's keep it going. We'll be back as soon as I don't know if we're going to come back this evening. Was it the defense team solemn after the news?
They were very quiet. You when you entered the hallway, you knew something was going on. You knew something happened, but I had already gotten the 411 from the parking lot guy. Yeah, you guys remember I was live and he said to me, somebody got stabbed. And I did not know the facts. I did not know the I'm not laughing at his situation. I'm just laughing at you want to learn something?
Talk to the parking lot guy.
The janitor, people on the street, the bums on the street. That's who'll tell you the stuff that happened, y'all.
That's right.
They're gonna tell you. That's what I'm laughing about. They will tell you.
We can call a hospital for an update. Yeah, generally they will not give you anything unless you are a family member. Like his wife could get information and then let Sylvia know. They're not going to really give the media anything besides the fact that they may say that they do have a person registered under that name. That would be the extent of it. But yeah, if we spoke to the hospital janitor, he probably would give us information. But thankfully, Sylvia has a direct.
And she said she's been called. People have been calling her all morning long, and she said, "But Miss Sylvia, you know I was going to call you, let you know." So shout out to her.
Let her know that we are thinking of her and that
definitely
fans are definitely concerned, and that's tough, man, when your family, you can't even be there for them, the way you want to be because of the circumstances and the jail situation, and it's just tough. I tell you, us women, Black women, I'm just going to say, listen, we endure a whole lot. And I just think about how that would be for me, with my husband in jail, and then he's hospitalized, and it's a lot. And that's what I think that this is more than the story of these men being arrested and the RICO charges. This is a story of the families that live on Cleveland Avenue. This is a story of their wives and of their children who are without them right now because they're in jail. Mm-hmm. Now, some of them were in jail before, but some were not, right? And what impact that had on them, that their breadwinner, regardless of how he was getting his bread, is no longer there.
Yeah,
this impacts people's lives, so that's why, we talk about other channels and platforms sensationalizing that. That's why you want to, be careful who you support and where you get your information from. Some people are just here to sensationalize, and some people are just here to get hits. We're really just here to tell a story. And of course, by doing a good job of doing that and representing the case the way it should be, you guys will support us. And that's what we're hoping that you continue to do. Speaking of which, at Cash App, Infamous Sylvia, at cashappsohh.com. This is not free. All of this stuff we are doing is absolutely not free. Don't get caught up thinking, oh my God, y'all make money from YouTube. YouTube don't pay that much. You know, at the end of the day, it's your support that matters. It's your support that makes it possible for us to be able to get the equipment that we need to be able to have Sylvia at the courthouse. YouTube has not been able to do that. So we really need you guys to continue to support so that we can do the work that we're doing. All right. Any other comments before we close out?
Well, just as I said before, pray for everyone that's involved because they need it. They're human beings, y'all. You got to have some sort of heart. Pray for them because I don't want anybody hurt. No, on any side. So, and just pray for the families. All.
Yeah. Okay, this was we talked about the mall cop. We might change our question of the week or the question of the day. Last week we were talking about that mall cop. If you remember, look at last week's video. Does anybody believe his testimony? Just if you remember, get on video and go on that QR code. It'll take you right to the video link where you can answer your question.
I called my wife. Well, she wasn't happy. So I'll rule the objection. So we had discussed what I could do. So I went ahead and changed the settings on my social media and locked it down so that you can't see anything outside of my name and my profile picture to protect the images of my family and anybody from seeing any more information about me.
And what did you do after you shut down social media?
I Googled Young Thug.
Why?
Because I didn't understand why I would be getting threats.
And what you Google Young Thug, that how you learned this trip?
Yes.
And what did you learn this trip?
Jeffrey Williams.
Yeah, so last week he claimed that Jeffrey Williams made a threat to him, and because of that threat, and he started to get threats on social media, and then after that he locked down his whole life and went into hiding because he was afraid for his life. Okay. If you believe that, or you don't, give us your opinion. We want to know how you think about this overall. So on Sylvia's channel, there's a sticky question there. We want to see you guys on video. We want to put your face on the screen, and we want you to give your opinion on what's happening with this case. In the meantime, we'll catch up with you later. Keep your notification. Yes, they are DTTH. Have a good one. Sylvia, I'll be around. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you guys soon.
Okay, bye-bye.